Okay, so what happened, Mike, to cause John Gruden to stick with his, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, his guns last week, and then last night basically say I'm done? What happened?
Well,
Best
it's
you can tell.
stunning to me, Rich, because when the NFL acknowledged the situation on Friday, and it was kind of a strange timeline. The Wall Street Journal broke the story about the one email that referred to DeMaurice Smith, the NFLPA executive director, with the racist trope, but there was also a statement from the league in the Wall Street Journal's article, and there was an acknowledgement that there are more items, there are more materials that were sent to the Raiders. And it became clear to me last night, and as this was all unfolding kind of minute by minute, Shefty was on the Monday Night Countdown show saying that the league sent even more materials on Monday to the Raiders. And the league is waiting for the Raiders' next move. And then the New York Times article drops, and it drops with a very loud explosion that results in Gruden resigning within an hour. And I think it was very simple, Rich. They were hoping that Gruden would walk away or that Mark Davis would fire him. And when they didn't pick up on that fairly obvious nuance to all of this, when you send these materials, there's one piece that's been leaked, there's other pieces that haven't been leaked. When they don't figure out that the next phase of this is some of this other stuff is going to get leaked, then you leak some of it, and that's when I think John Gruden realized, oh, all this stuff's going to eventually come out. I better just walk away. And there's probably more. They're just not in a position now to have any incentive to leak it. And Gruden, if he would have quit Friday night or Saturday or Sunday or even yesterday morning, all we would have ever known about is the one email that was leaked to the Wall Street Journal last week. So I think this was a deliberate effort by someone to get John Gruden out of that job, either via resignation or termination.
You know, I mean, I kind of went all in on it in the first segment of the show. I didn't even give the usual that I've known John and I've been around him. You know, he worked at the NFL Network before he went to ESPN, and I didn't see any of this behavior. Never heard that language before. I didn't even give that one. I just, even though that is true, I never heard him say anything like that. I just couldn't believe what I was reading last night. Just that. Is this basically, in your estimation, the tip of an iceberg? You just mentioned that you could be more. What else do you think was said in these emails, and why only leak about Gruden?
Well, there could be more Gruden emails that are just other examples of the stuff that we're now aware of. But on one hand, you could look at this as Gruden's the outlier. On the other hand, you could look at it and say, well, this is just indicative of anyone and everyone who's involved in the NFL in some capacity. Or instead of guessing, we could see what's there in this 650,000 email trove that the NFL initially buried underground 300 feet like nuclear waste back in July. That's where this all started, Rich. And look, the NFL, which understands PR as well as any major corporation, they knew when to drop the results of the Washington football team investigation. Late afternoon on Thursday, July 1. When July 4 lands on a Sunday, what happens? It's a 4-day weekend. By Tuesday the 6th, everyone had forgotten, and no one was saying, now, wait a minute, you're telling me you did an investigation that lasted for over a year, and you didn't ask the lawyer to prepare a written report. That never happens. Lawyers get hired to investigate. They prepare a written report. They document their findings. And you're never going to release any of this, and there's no transparency, and we're not going to find out what was learned from all these interviews. And they had some cockamamie excuse like, well, we promised confidentiality to some of the alleged accusers. Well, that doesn't mean you can't still release information and protect the identity of people who made accusations. That happens all the time. But it all went away. But now they go back to that well for just a few little pieces, a few pages, because they have some other agenda that they need to fulfill. And I don't know, because a lot of people are onto this now. And I'm hearing from readers and viewers who otherwise wouldn't care about these kinds of machinations. They're like, wait a minute. How does Gruden become the one who gets singled out to have his emails exposed when he wasn't even working for the team, and all the other stuff's going to be hidden? And that's not a defense of Gruden. It's a recognition of you can't hide the iceberg. There is an iceberg. You can't just say, well, Gruden did this and Gruden did that and Gruden, and forget about everything else. What did Daniel Snyder say in emails sent to Bruce Allen? There's a lot of nervous people around the league today, Rich, because Bruce Allen knew a lot of people. And Bruce Allen emailed with a lot of people. And there's people in the league office that are nervous about this because they emailed with Bruce Allen. And I say I know of one that I'm not going to disclose for now, but there's nervous people out there. Well, let's see all of it. It's not fair to us, to Gruden, to anyone to have us guess what else is out there. They have it, and we know they have it because they leaked the stuff that relates to John Gruden, or at least some of that stuff.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.